So what's happening, guys? Hope your day is going well. Today, we're going to review the mother of all builders. REDCON1's MOAB. And I did have some effects on this thing I do want to go over. So we'll go over my personal experience on this thing. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you put in your body. And then we're going to go over, like I said, my effects. If you like stuff like that and you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I'm delivering as much information as I can, as frequently as I can out here. And we're going to jump right into this. First, we're going to get into the flavor. The flavor on this one was great. Yeah, it's tolerable. It's tolerable flavor. So I'm used to stuff like this. I know that this is a product that is going to possibly have some effects, and the flavor is just, it's just okay. So if you like great flavors, like you like flavors, the flavors have to be right on, then skip past this thing because you're not going to enjoy it. It's going to be hard for you to get it down. The scoop on this thing, it's a 1 scoop, 7 grams, 30 servings. I like that, 30 servings in this thing. And 7-gram scoop is one really full scoop. So you need a scale on this thing to be exact. But if you don't have a scale, I'm going to really dig in there and get like a heaping, a tower mountain of a scoop on this thing, because a flat level scoop is only 5.6 grams. So I don't know if they've changed that. I've had this for a little while, so I don't know if they changed it at all. But if they did, fantastic, great. If they did, leave a comment down below. If you're using the newer version of this and they made some changes to it, that would be awesome. So putting the ingredient profile right in front of me. Right on the top, we got some calcium. We're going to bypass that. The calcium is from the HMB, I believe, that's in this thing. But calcium is going to help with neural connection, neural firing in the muscles for signaling, and also contractional capability. So right on the top here, we have HMB at a good whopping 3 grams. And that is the efficacious dose, although there is no like real efficacious dose. But this is the dose where they had studies and came up with some results through in vitro or in vivo, or through rat studies and or human studies. And then they got HICA at 1,000 milligrams. Now, HICA is usually dosed at 1,500 milligrams. So it's not that it's low, but they say you can take 1 gram to 2 grams right in between there. And again, there's no exact dosage. This is just like what they kind of came to a conclusion when they're doing these rodent in vitro studies and human studies. And these two ingredients are metabolites of leucine. We'll get into the ingredients themselves. But so leucine breaks down into a keto analog, which is KIC or KICA, K-I-C or K-I-C-A. And then that's further broken down by an enzyme, a hydroxy dehydrogenase enzyme, which takes out off the hydrogen of the KIC and turns it into HICA. And then it's further broken down by another enzyme that is a deoxygenase enzyme, pulls the oxygen out of KIC, and that's turned into HMB. So that's how you get the two metabolites being formed. So when we take leucine, that's basically what happens. It breaks down and into those two molecules. And when you take leucine on its own, you don't get, like you can't get this amount of HMB and HICA being broken down in 3-5 grams of leucine. It's like 30% of it. So this is just a whopping dose of those two metabolites of leucine being thrown in your body. And in my opinion, they work good synergistically together rather than on their own. I've had a lot of people ask me questions about HMB, and I never really had any good luck on HMB by itself. But I do have some effects when it comes to stacking HMB and HICA. And I believe a lot of it has to do with just even the different effects we have individually off of like Laxo, Turk, and other substances out there. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on there. Other substances out there where we all are designed differently. Our biochemistry is differently. How we produce enzymes, that break down ingredients, we're all just totally different. So whether you're going to have the same effects or not, I'm just kind of deliver the information on the ingredients in here. So there you go. And HMB is a ingredient that has been studied in rat studies to target mTOR pathways to increase muscle protein synthesis. And it's also been studied in vitro to reduce apoptosis, which is cells, the death of cells. So it actually helps with the killing off of old unneeded cells. So it's almost like senescent cell ingredient, or it kind of helps with stuff like that as far as getting rid of cells that we don't need, because you don't want cells in your body that are kind of clumped together with bad cells around them, because those bad cells will infect the other cells, degrade them, and cause problems later on. So there you go. And then we got HICA. HICA is supposed to help with muscle breakdown. And basically what it does, it inhibits the activity of your body's proteinase system, which is the system that actually breaks down and removes broken, damaged, or unneeded proteins in the body. So it limits the catabolic effect by limiting that process in your body. So you got two ingredients. You're supposed to spike MPS and then actually help with the catabolic effect as far as reducing the catabolic effect. So together, I think they're great ingredients. Do they work better than leucine? There hasn't been any studies that show that it works better than leucine, so I'm just letting you guys know that. Now, there's not been many comparisons to either HMB and leucine, HICA and leucine, and also there's very few studies that actually are consistent. So both ingredients do have studies that you'll see articles on where they nitpick or cherry pick the studies if they're for the ingredient or against the ingredient to say it does work or it doesn't work. So enough said on that. We're going to go into the effects, and then I'll let you guys know what I experienced on this thing. Then we got Epicatechin here at a good whopping 300 grams. This is usually dosed about 150 milligrams. So very good ingredient. This is one of my favorite ingredients. I had my man Pump Crush Fitness text me and ask me what I like as far as a pump ingredient that actually causes some vasodilation. And I told him Epicatechin. And a few days later, he had DM'd me back and got a hold of me, and he said, "Oh yeah, this thing works really well. I love Epicat now." So this is a great ingredient for vasodilation, because what it does is it blocks the endothelium 1 and angiotensin 2 released in the endothelial tissue, which is released for vasorestriction. So it blocks that. There are two enzymes that it can block to create the vasodilation and the relaxation of the blood vessels for more blood flow. This also has had some studies on humans, mostly middle-aged. I think the one study, the good effects were on middle-aged group of men or women. They didn't really specify. They said people in the study, to where it had actually increased follistatin by about 50%, and it decreased myostatin by about 15%. And that's what we're looking at, the myostatin. Actually, both of them is great, because if you increase follistatin, you're going to get more muscle building, and myostatin, if you decrease that, which is these are the controlling mechanisms on how big your muscles can grow, pretty much. So if your myostatin levels are high, to break it down simply, you're not going to grow any muscle. The body's just going to stop it. These are your kind of like the two potent mediators to alter muscle growth. So by controlling these, you're supposed to have some effects. So is this a myostatin inhibitor drug-like compound? Hell no. You will never get those type of effects off of this. But if this ingredient does work like it does, and you probably get mild effects that will probably be effective over time. So this is not an ingredient. I don't think any of these ingredients are for someone who wants to take a 30-day run on this. Like if you want to take Epicatechin, you want to take that for 12 months in order to decide if it actually worked for you. But there are other benefits with Epicatechin, the vasodilation, so you do feel things. Last ingredient on this is Estrogen, which is a 50 milligrams, good dose. This helps with everything digesting, especially amino acids, proteins, and other ingredients in the lumen of the small intestines, so they digest better. So, MOAB, Mother of All Muscle Builders by REDCON1. How did it do? So I'm on I'm on this is 30 days, so I'm probably about the 26th day. I want to do a review on this because I'm probably going to be switching up to something else after this. But what I noticed on this thing is, of course, I didn't notice any size. So I'm almost at my genetic ceiling. But what I did notice after using this before a workout, 30 minutes, an hour before my workout, or with my pre-workout, was pumps and tightness were doubled during my training session. So I felt felt tight and pumped more than just the pre-workout or the pump formula would give me. And I felt engaged. My muscles were engaged. And the pump effect started happening the first time I took it. Now, keep in mind, I take Epicatechin. I have it on the shelf. So, like, I'm running this, so I'm not taking it right now, but then I'll probably end up going on again. So I know the difference between just taking straight Epicatechin and taking Epicatechin with other things. So Epicatechin gives me a good pump, gives me some tightness, makes me feel good. It has a lot of other health benefits. It sends out messengers, C-amp, stuff like that for weight loss and stuff like that. So it helps with metabolism of energy and other things. So with this compared to taking straight Epicatechin, I felt tighter, more engaged, and stronger on my workouts. Now, did I get any more strength gains in the long run? No, I don't feel like I got stronger at anything. I don't feel like I got bigger at anything, but it enhanced my training. So if I wasn't at my genetic ceiling, I feel that this probably would have benefited me if I was an intermediate lifter or, someone beginning. Well, beginners should just go on their own until they have some kind of a halt before you start spending a ton of money on stuff. But that's your choice. But like if you aren't at your genetic ceiling and you're eating right and you're sleeping right and everything's in check, I feel like this would have helped me progress a little quicker on my muscle gains. So not a bad product as far as this goes. What's this good for? It could be good for muscle building, but I think this would be an excellent product, stacking it with Laxo for somebody who is trying to recomp. I think that would be a good combination. I always recommend NCN Subs Laxo because they put it through tests. They make sure that it's in there. And a lot of problem with some of these ingredients nowadays, why some people might have effects better than others buying certain different products, is some of these ingredients, even Epicatechin. This is a good source to Epicatechin, I'm telling you right now. But all these ingredients it just depends on where they're sourced. And a lot of these companies, you don't have enough money to do tests on it, third party, second party tests and stuff like that. But Laxo by NCN has always hit me right. I really like their product here. So if you are trying to recomp, let's say you're just running maintenance or you're 100 calories or 200 calories below, this actually would be a good product to stack with some Laxo to maintain muscle mass. For me, I don't think you would have to, for gaining muscle. I'm sure I'm sure it would work for that as well. I just see this better as a recomping agent for sparing muscle because we don't really know on the Epicatechin and the HMB and the HICA, if they have metabolic effects as far as anabolic effects on here because the studies are just so inconclusive. So if you are going to buy this and you're on a fat loss journey and you're a cut or something like that, I think that's what it would be beneficial for more than anything. It's just my 2 cents. So if anybody's used this in any other way and had some really good results on it, then definitely put your comments down below because, like I said, this is just my opinion. These are just my results. I hope that helps. And it wasn't a bad product. And if you can get by with the taste, yeah, I love the tightness and I love the feeling of the engagement, the more engagement with the muscle in the gym. It almost felt like you are stronger in the gym, but it's mainly just the combination of these ingredients, just activating mTOR, getting some blood flow, all the other benefits of Epicatechin just made you feel a little stronger, like grip stronger, pull stronger, push stronger. So I hope that helps. My name is Dave. Signing off. Gonna go up and get something to eat. We'll see you guys next time on the channel.